Listen carefully, because what I'm about to show you, that most investors will only understand when it's already too late. Right now, the market feels uncertain. Prices are moving unpredictably. News is negative everywhere. And in moments like this, most people disappear. They panic sell, they sit on the sidelines, or they completely ignore what's happening. But here's the truth. This is exactly when the biggest opportunities are created. Because while the crowd hesitates, smart money starts moving early. And right now, there are a few stocks quietly setting up before the attention arrives. These are not hype plays. These are companies with real setups, real catalysts, and serious upside potential. And here's what makes this even more interesting. One of these stocks is being targeted for a major turnaround. Another is sitting in a sector where demand is exploding. So don't skip this, because one of these could be the kind of stock people look back on and say, I should have bought that earlier. Quick disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Now, let's get into it. The first stock is Snap. Yeah, Snap. And I already know what most people think. This stock is done. But that belief is exactly where the opportunity starts. Because when a stock falls this hard, people stop paying attention completely. And that's when things can quietly start changing. Snap went from being one of the hottest stocks in the market to being completely ignored. But here's what most people are missing. Like, the business didn't collapse. The platform still has a massive global audience. User growth is still happening internationally. Revenue has been recovering, like, slowly but consistently. And for the first time in a while, like, profitability is stabilizing. So if the company is still alive, why is the stock still so low? Because it lost focus. Too many costs, too many inefficiencies, not enough execution. But now, something important has happened. An activist investor has stepped in, and they're pushing aggressively for change. Cost cuts, restructuring, better focus, and deeper integration of AI. Now think about this. When expectations are extremely low, it doesn't take perfection to move the stock, it just takes improvement. And if even part of this turnaround works, this could reprice much faster than people expect. That's why smart money is watching. Now, let's shift gears, because the second stock is something almost nobody is talking about, Pulsar Helium. And this is where things start getting interesting. Let me ask you something. What happens when something becomes essential, but there isn't enough supply? Prices don't move slowly, they move fast. And that's exactly what's happening here. Helium is used in industries most people don't even think about. Semiconductors, space exploration, advanced electronics, medical technology. And right now, supply is tight. Demand is growing, but supply isn't keeping up. That imbalance creates pressure, and pressure creates opportunity. This company is positioned in key regions with active development projects and near-term catalysts. And because it's still early, the market hasn't fully priced it in yet. Now, here's the part most people miss. Small companies in the right sector at the right time can move extremely fast. And with growing attention on space and advanced tech, this setup could get attention very quickly. Now, this is where things start getting crazy, because the third stock connects directly to one of the biggest trends in the world right now, artificial intelligence. But not in the way most people think. This isn't about chatbots or apps. This is about infrastructure, because AI needs something most people ignore: speed. Data has to move faster. Systems have to communicate instantly. Efficiency becomes everything, and that's exactly what this company's building. Poet Technologies. They're developing a platform that combines electronics with photonics, allowing faster, cheaper, and more efficient data transfer. In simple terms, they're helping power the backbone of AI systems. And here's why this matters. As AI grows, the demand for this kind of technology doesn't just increase, it explodes. They've already positioned themselves with key industry relationships and are moving toward larger scale adoption. On top of that, their financial position has improved significantly, which means they now have the runway to execute. And this is exactly the kind of setup people look back on later and say, I missed that. Now, the fourth stock, Dragonfly Energy, and this one is not for everyone, because this is where risk increases. But so does potential. This company is in the battery space, and batteries are at the center of everything right now. Electric vehicles, energy storage, renewable systems, all of it depends on better battery technology. And this company is working on advanced solutions. With a growing patent portfolio and real-world applications, they're expanding into new areas, including solar integration, which opens even more opportunities. But let's be honest here. This is a smaller company. That means volatility is high, execution is critical. If things go wrong, downside is real. But if things go right, This could be one of those turnaround stories that catches the market off guard. And finally, the last stock, Gain Therapeutics. This is where things get unpredictable because this is biotech, and biotech doesn't move slowly. It moves on events. This company is using AI-driven technology to develop treatments for serious diseases, including neurodegenerative conditions. Their lead candidate is already gaining attention, and a major catalyst is approaching. Now understand this. In biotech, one result can change everything. Positive data, and the stock can explode. Negative data, and it can drop just as fast. That's why it's risky. But that's also why the upside can be massive, and that's exactly why this stock is on the list. So now let me ask you something. If you had to choose just one, which one would you bet on? Because here's the reality. Opportunities like this don't stay hidden. By the time everyone starts talking about these stocks, the biggest gains are already gone. That's how markets work. Early attention creates opportunity. Late attention creates regret. So if you want to stay ahead of the crowd, you have to start paying attention before everyone else does. Drop your pick in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe because the next opportunity